area moves in so many ways. The Pacific pulls us in to roam its hidden alleyways, shift our perspectives, breathe history, taste local flavors, and savor every moment. Let yourself be moved.
The Eves of Destruction acknowledge and thank the Kosapsim Esquimalt Nation and the Songhees Nation, along with the Tsuk and Pachida, for allowing us to play the sport we love and host our events on their traditional territory. We, as guests, recognize this territory as unceded and honor the ongoing relationship with the land and stewardship of the Lakavangan-speaking people. We are honored to live on this land and are working towards reconciliation, decolonization, and building relationships within our communities. A few local organizations you can support are Victoria Native Friendship Center, Raven Trust for Environmental Justice, and Comcam Coastal Connections Indigenous Harm Reduction and Health Services.
Thank you, Dutch. All right, time for game number 8. The home team, our hosts, Eves of Destruction Envy, taking on Denver's Standbys. And I'm proud to announce the roster for the EOD Envy. Number 007, Tuffy. 1166, the Wife of Wrath. Number 14, Kitty. 21, Charlie Hearst. Number 27, Honey Crueler. Number 4, Terminate Her. 452, The Frenzy. 501, Panic. 555, Chaos. 604, Trish Trash. 654, Goose. Number 7, Chango. 705, Violent Criminal. 73, Tombstone. 78, Jerry Can. 89, Lank the Tank. And number 19, Gravity Assist. And they are supported on the bench by Rolando Furioso and Mint.
And welcoming the standbys from Denver Roller Derby. 02, Wes Slamderson. 028, Slam Track. Number 11, She Be Dangerous. Number 111, Royal Tenenbaum. Number 14, Green Machine. 1472, Yeety Bird. Number 165, Beholder. Number 2806, Brawny Darko. Number 315, Hersteria. 404, Smack Overflow. Number 412, Keeper of the Skate. Number 55, Misery Lizness. Number 631, Mads Kills. Number 7, Creature. Number 8, Jet Set. And number 847, L on Wheels. And on the bench tonight for Denver is California.
Our skating officials for this game, Mass McCollister, PH Demon, Esno, Carmen Dragon, Bobby Flair, and Noah Fallon.
Our non-skating officials for tonight, Phil Hollywood, Bazooka Langley, Hunky Dory, Pushy Galora, Callie, Pussycat, Babe, Brawl Patrol, and Hot Flash.
I hope someone is tracking if Carmen Dragon is in every game this tournament between the skating for Mindfox and the reffing and the NSOing yesterday. Is there's some tracker? Do we have a Carmen Dragon tracker going?
We'll get one.
All right. I'm being told we'll work something out. It's a 20-second early whistle. I like it. And off we go with Honey Crueler jamming against L on Wheels. L on Wheels pushing towards the front. As Honey Kruller, left to right at the back of the pack.
Terminators bridging the two ends of the pack together.
Just
Terminator in the frenzy now, winding it out. Pack now spans both quarters, and Hell on Wheels is through.
He'll stretch on that pack as far as possible. Honey Kruller now clear. Direction of play, sending the Wife of Wrath to the penalty box.
Hell on Wheels scores 4 points and calls it off.
Eaves of Destruction wish to thank all the outstanding sponsors that fund the gameplay you enjoy. As we tell you more about them tonight, consider if you too would like to help keep us rolling through 2026. Contact us at eodsponsorship@gmail.com.
Taking the jammer line now for Eves is Kitty with Liz for the standbys.
Novak called, but then quickly back together.
Liz takes the outside and becomes lead jammer.
And Kitty finally through to complete the initial as Misery Lizness quickly grabs 4 more points. Parkway Physio, reduce pain, improve mobility, and get back to what you love.
Panic and Yeety Bird, and Panic right up the inside. Takes your lead jammer before anyone can say boo. Panic on the outside gets stopped by Beholder. Calls it off before Birdie can take the pack.
The Zone at 91.3, proud sponsors of the Eves of Destruction. The Zone is a radio station made for you by real people right here in Victoria. Not like those other radio stations, the fake people from somewhere else.
Charlie Hurst for Eves against Smack Overflow for the standbys. Both jams, oh, and chucks out to an early lead. Smack still stuck in the pack. Chuck up on the inside and stays. No, just for safeties, made sure they didn't cut the track. Chuck now around the outside and makes that first scoring pass.
Good work
Smack
by
now hot
Charlie.
on their heels.
Good work by Charlie Hurst, making sure that foot may be out of bounds, maybe not. Follow it out when in doubt. In a world filled with mass-produced stuff, connect with what you consume with Driftwood Brewery. Visit their bar and patio nearby on Viewfield Road, or just go over and buy a drink ticket and visit them here tonight. Why wait?
On the jammer line now, we have Goose versus Creature. Creature gets knocked out, starts in the back of the pack, whereas Goose takes lead jammer. Creature now through on their initial pass. Meanwhile, Goose out the outside, clears the pack. Jet set for the block, but didn't make it. And the Eves called the jam off.
Takes to 11-10. Your first hydration break of the game. As Eves of Destruction now in the lead, 24:50 to go in the period.
Pack tightens up and has Honey Cruller on the line with Ella on wheels. Elle's pushed up against the front Eve's wall. Meanwhile, Honey Cruller breaks through, becomes lead jammer for the Eves.
4 straight jam with lead for Envy.
And looks like a 1-point jam.
Indeed, 1 point only. I'd like to thank our amazing crew of dedicated officials. It's one of Eve of Destruction's biggest assets. From non-skating officials to on-skates officials, they make it possible for us all to enjoy this sport we love so much. Speak to any official or Eves of Destruction member to find out how you too could be part of this awesome crew.
Kitty on the line with Misery Lizness. Liz working the outside of the pack. Kitty up the middle, down the center. Kitty right through the inside. Lead jammer. Meanwhile, Terminator keeps Liz at bay. Terminator works in the back of the pack, keeping Liz all the way back to the start, all the way back to the jammer line. Meanwhile, Kitty's working up front against the Denver pack. Is through. Not quite. Yes. Yes, did they make it? They made it. Liz still stuck in the pack. Wife of Rat takes him to the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Kitty is through for yet another scoring pass. Liz working up at the front of the pack. Still the jammer, taking off the star, but putting it back on now. And it looks like Kitty called off the jam.
3 points on that last pass. Makes it an 11-0 run for Envy. They are now 23, standbys 10 with 22:20 to go in the first period.
On the jammer line, it is Panic up against Birdie. Birdie takes the outside, Panic to the inside. Panic jumps, fancy footwork from Panic to keep it on the track. Now lead jammer. Edie in from behind the pack, gets some assistance by the blockers. Gets pushed to the outside, second to the backward, Panic up the inside for their scoring pass. Birdie now bursts out of the front of the pack. Panic once again through the inside, through and through, and calls it off before Birdie can score.
Eight-point run takes Envy to 31. And I'm pretty sure they still have 31 donuts over there at Empire Donuts. It's a whole lot of love. All donuts made by hand from scratch with quality ingredients and available right over by the drink ticket sale. So you get your drink ticket, you get your donut, then you have the beer to wash down the donut. It all makes sense.
Sounds like win-win to me.
Yes.
If you want to mention the jam timer, Zoops. The crowd loves Zoops. Crowd favorite. I don't know why they love it.
And we have Zooks as the jam timer. Give it up for Zooks. Looks like we have Honey Cruller up for Envy and Smack Overflow up for Denver. Smack Overflow to the inside, gets knocked out, pushed to the back of the pack. Honey to the outside, also knocked out, back to the back of the pack. They're both pushing through. It's Chuck jamming. Oh, I've been misinformed. We got Chuck on the jammer line, working the inside, back to the outside, back of the pack. Still working on their initial pass, where Smack Overflows now working on their first scoring pass.
Smack Overflow breaking a string of 6 straight jams for Envy with the lead. Those 4 points take the standbys to 14. Envy 31 with 20:20 to go in the first half.
It is Creature versus Goose. Creature gets knocked to the inside, takes out the inside ref. Goose is through. Goose is coming up to the back of the pack. Creature still being stuck behind the eaves wall. Creature now through. Scores 4 points.
Wes Lamberson called on the direction play in that last jam. So Envy will start with a 1 jammer advantage in the pack.
Happy birthday to Violet Criminal there on in the blockers.
Birthday present is getting to play Derby.
And we have Hell on Wheels. And this time Honey Cruller. Misery listeners on the line for the standbys, and Kitty jamming for Envy. Both jammers try separate routes through the pack. Liz on the outside gets taken out by Chaos. Meanwhile, Kitty is through for the lead jammer. Liz is still working, trying on the back of the pack where Kitty comes through for their first scoring pass. Now we have a fast pack, and they hit the brakes again, creating a little space for Kitty to come around on the outside. Kitty just stays in and calls off the jam with another scoring pass.
Standbys with our first star pass of the game, our Driftwood Brewery star pass. Passing the star off to She Be Dangerous.
It's Honey versus Birdie. Honey is through, lead jammer. Birdie hot in the tail. Pack zips around 2 turns, 1. Knocks Cruller out, but Cruller calls off the jam. So 1-0.
Hazel's Ice Cream, a family dream of ice cream, local handmade ice cream bars. Thanks to Hazel's for sponsoring Eves of Destruction.
Smack overflow for Denver. Pushing up against the Eves wall. In behind we have Panic coming around the outside to take lead jammer. Smack's working the inside, gets knocked in the back of the pack. Meanwhile, on the outside, back to the center is Panic. Panic through down the inside and through once more. Smack. Oh, we have a bona fide star pass. Oh.
Two more on that second pass for Panic. That'll take Envy to 50. Standbys 14 with just under 16 minutes to go in the half.
Oh, Chuck skating for the Eves. Taking down the inside, scoring, runs back through, takes lead. Meanwhile, we have Creature now makes their initial pass. Apex jump from Chuck on the inside. Takes the 4 and calls the jam off.
We'd like to thank Roller Girl for sponsoring the Capital City Chaos Tournament MVP prize. And if you would like to get in on the fun, you can vote for the tournament MVP using the QR codes posted throughout the arena.
With this jam, we see Goose lined up against L on wheels. L takes a quick jump to the inside, Goose to the outside. Both hit the respective walls. Goose working back and forth through the front, takes the lead. L on wheels still mired in the very back of the pack. L now up at the front, stuck in the NV wall. Goose in the meantime can't gain no ground past Denver. That Denver wall is thick. Almost as thick as the Eves wall up front. Neither jammer can gain any quarter, although there goes Goose around the outside. Takes the 4 points. Meanwhile, still have L on wheels, just mired in the pack. Gradually working way in front with some help from her blockers. Now gets through. Meanwhile, Goose calls off the jam after scoring another 4 points.
8-0 run for Envy in their 5th straight jam with lead. Score now 62-14 with 13 and a half minutes to go in the half.
Once again, we have Honey Crueler for Envy up against Misery Lizness for Denver. Misery's working the way to the front. Wife of Wrath putting the full block on, but Liz is through for your lead jammer. Meanwhile, at the back, Honey's just pushing that wall, pushing that wall. Liz is through on the inside. Virtually no opposition. Wife of Wrath now at the star pass, courtesy of Hotel Zen. Wife of Wrath now through her blockers. A very fast pack as Liz calls off the jam.
Four points take standbys to 18. And we'd like to thank Cloverdale Paint. Proudly Canadian, Cloverdale Paint delivers high-performance paints, coatings, and color systems. So if you need to paint something, check out Cloverdale Paint.
On the line, we have Kitty versus Smack. Smack's game for Denver. Kitty for Envy is around and takes lead. Not wasting any time. Smack stuck at the back. Kitty threw in the front. First scoring pass takes the 4 points. Smack is just mired, not gaining any inch. That Eve's wall is thick. Meanwhile, Kitty's in the inside. She gets a blow. She gets knocked out, has to come back around the back of the pack. Tries the outside. And is through. And we got a star pass. Star pass for Chibi. But the jam is called off. I believe the pass is incomplete.
11 minutes to go in the half now, 70-18. Envy in the lead. We'd like to thank the St. John ambulance attendants. They're on site all weekend. Can't have roller derby games if you don't have medics.
And on the line is Panic versus Birdie. Panic in behind Birdie. Deacon back and forth and around on the inside. Fancy footwork, not quite what she needed. Is back behind the pack. Meanwhile, Birdie working the outside against the Eve's wall. Wife of Raph holding fort with Kenzie. Panic now through. Once again, his wife up in front. Wow's got, is that with Terminator? And thanks, Birdie passed her own star to herself. I have Charlie Hurst skating for Envy.
Official timeout for some scoreboard adjustment. 4 points on that last jam for Envy. That'll take them to 77. Standbys held at 18, and we've got 9.5 to go in the first period.
And Chuck right out front with lead jammer. Hot on their heels is L on Wheels, but L on Wheels back to the back of the pack, and Chuck is through for their scoring pass. Now L on Wheels through for their initial pass. Chuck runs into a Denver wall, skates around the outside, and calls it off before getting the block. And we have Goose up against Liz. Liz right through the center of the pack. Terminator and Django. Terminator hard on Liz. But Liz is through, takes the lead jammer. Meanwhile,
Terminator picking up a forearm penalty on that pass.
Frenzy now gets the star pass, courtesy of Empire Donuts.
Get your 50-50 raffle tickets now. The drawing will be during the halftime of the next game, the last game of the day. You could leave richer than you arrived if you win. That's the whole point of the 50-50. So find our ticket sailor and purchase your tickets.
Honey Cooler, smack overflow. Honey to the outside. Takes lead. And is in a different zip code while Smack still working the pack. Stuck on the inside. Gets a track cut. And now it's a power jam for Envy. Is it the first power jam for Envy? That's cool. And Denver tries to keep the speed up, but Honey is through. Takes the 4 points. Eve's trying to keep that pack mire down, keep it slow. Honey runs slammed into the Denver wall. Eve's blocker stepping to help. Give a little assist to the jammer. Honey now up at the front. She be dangerous, holding them back. Honey is through. Takes the 4 points. And it looks like we have a star pass for Denver. No. Out. It's always a little difficult when they pass it to themselves.
15 points on that jam for Envy. Takes them to 99. Standbys 22.
Kitty up on the jammer line against Creature. Creature goes straight off forwards to back. Kitty takes a little more time. Kitty now through. Takes lead. Creature hot on their heels. Wow, with the final late block. Doesn't quite get them. Kitty now to the inside. Skates to the inside. Zips around. Jet set for the block. Doesn't quite make it. And Kitty calls off the jam. Scoring those 4 points.
If you're thinking, I enjoy watching the roller derby, but I really wish I was reading right now, you can head over to Faded Hearts bookstore in our vendor village. You can watch derby and also read. Like in between the jams when nothing's going on right now, you could be reading.
Panic is now right through. Taking the lead, L on wheels, hot on their tail. Panic calls off the jam before L can take any points. It is 2-0.
That bumps us to 104-22 with 4:13 to go in the period.
Charlie Hurst on the jammer line for EOD Envy. And for the standby, we have Misery Lisness. And it's a quick blast off the line for Liz, but blocked by the Eves. Frenzy and Violent Criminal stop them where Chuck breaks through and takes lead jammer. Lisness around the outside. Done their initial pass. Chuck now straight into the wall. Held back by Denver, calls off the jam. Manages to get 2 points. It's another 2-0 jam.
We'd like to thank the Greater Victoria Sports Tourism Commission, fueled by the support of over 50 business members and municipalities. They're dedicated to enhancing the region's sporting event landscape. Their mission is to seamlessly blend sport hosting with tourism marketing, drawing major sporting events to Greater Victoria that benefit the entire community.
And Goose is through, takes the lead. Meanwhile, Birdie is working the back of the pack, back of the eaves wall. Goose through, gets stopped by the front. No, is through. It's a late attempt by Slammerson. Denver skating a fast pack, but Goose is through, calls off the jam before Birdie can score another point.
Green machine for Denver standbys, picking up a penalty towards the end of the jam. So Denver will start with 3 blockers on the track to Envy's 4.
And we have a timeout. It is a timeout.
Official time,
Oh, it's
or
an official
official
timeout.
review timeout,
Oh.
rather, sorry.
And it looks like we have the 50-50 draw, folks, coming around. Making their way
Denver was
past the
looking
drink
for a
ticket
back
booth.
block. Denver was looking for a back block on the EOD jammer from the initial trip. After review, the contact was legal and the no call will stand.
Honeycruller skating for Envy. Smack overflow for the standbys. Both jammers tried the same way up, but no. Honeycruller around the outside. Takes lead. Smack takes the same line, makes it through. Honey up against the 2-person wall up in the front. Honey calls off the jam. It looks like a 0-point jam.
Hersteria picking up an out-of-play contact penalty right at the end will put 1 sole blocker on the track for Denver standbys to start this jam.
Kitty up against L on wheels. Kitty up the inside, but no, gets pushed out by the sole blocker for Denver, but makes it through on the outside, takes lead. Meanwhile, Ella Wheels knocked to the inside, has to come around to the back. Kitty dances up the inside, takes their first scoring pass. He comes around for another round. Denver gaining back a blocker or two. But Kitty, not taking any part of it, says, I'm going to take 4 more points. Kitty dances, and just gets nailed by Green Machine. But makes it through, takes another 4. Meanwhile, seems that L on Wheels is just mired in the pack. Kitty dancing around the inside, back and forth through some absolutely fantastic, fancy footwork. Skates through the blockers, takes another 4 points. Kitty spending a little bit more. No. To heck with this pack. I'm through again. 4 more points, please. And finally, one of the Denver blockers takes Kitty down. Kitty's working up the inside, comes around the back of the pack, calls off the jam, says I've had enough of this.
A 20-point run takes us to a halftime score of 135-22. We will take a 10-minute break. Plenty of time to go purchase that book so you have something to read for the second half. Grab a donut, maybe some knee pads from the skate shop, and of course your beers.
Such well-behaved jammers. We have Panic Up taking the lead for the EOD NV. Meanwhile, we have a Star Pass courtesy of Hotel Z for L on Wheels.
It did look like that. That's yeah, exactly. It went that way.
Have Misery listeners up for standbys with Honey Cruller for EOD. Honey up to the inside, takes lead jammer. Liz at the back of the pack. Honey coming around at the back of the pack for the scoring pass. Meantime, Liz stuck in Misery in the pack. The Star Pass is not completed.
Laugh it up at the Heckler's Bar and Grill after party when the games end on Sunday. So we're just warning you in advance to get ready to laugh tomorrow. Oh.
Charlie Hurst on the line for NV. Up against Smack Overflow. Smack working around the outside, gets pushed out, comes around to the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Chuck's working the inside wall. A mire of Denver. Chuck is through, takes lead. Oh, gets called out. No lead for Chuck. Cutting the track. Off to the penalty box they go.
Only the second power jam of the game, as there was only one in the first half, and the first power jam for the standbys of Denver.
Nope. Looks like we have no lead jammer for this, and the pack is working them all the way back to the start. We start this jam anew, pretty much. It's a power jam, though, for Denver. Smack Overflow takes a bit of a knee on the way through the pack. Chuck is back. Chuck now working through. And we have Goose for the NV up against Yeedy Bird. Both take a slow approach to the back of the pack. Goose tries up the middle. Yeedy Bird on the outside, and it is Birdie that takes the lead for Denver. Well, Goose sneaks up the inside, makes their initial pass. Birdie's in the meantime working through the eaves wall. Back and forth, back and forth. Goose tries the apex jump, doesn't quite clear the Denver blocker. Has to come around to the back. No, all the way through.
It's an illegal contact penalty for contact while in the air.
That's correct.
So Goose will sit.
Meanwhile, Birdie's having a tough time, struggling to get through the Envy blocker wall up front. Denver's hanging back. Birdie's still stuck in the pack, cannot get through. Trying to stretch the pack up the front, quick no pack being called, Birdie gets through. In the meantime, Goose is back out, knocked down to the inside. Coming in around behind, Birdie meanders the way through, just skates around. Chaos tries a late block to no avail. Birdie takes the 4 points. Birdie once again around the outside, Chaos and Trish Trash try to stop. Chaos is successful, takes them all the way around, back in behind the pack. Jam hits its time limit, it is over.
Official timeout called, but an 11-3 Jam win for Denver's standbys. That takes standbys to 33. Envy 146 with 25 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the game. In a world filled with mass-produced stuff, connect with what you consume with Driftwood Brewery. Visit their bar and patio nearby on Viewfield Road, or more importantly, buy a ticket and visit them on site here tonight. Shifting from the official timeout to the team timeout for the Eves of Destruction Envy.
A creature skating up against. Panic skating for the Envy. Creature for Denver. Creature works her way up the middle, but it's Panic around the inside, gets knocked out, comes around to the back of the pack. Creature at the outside, clears the wall, takes the lead. Panic now at the inside, through their initial pass. It's a late block for a Frenzy to try to take Creature out, not quite successful. In the meantime, Kitty No, panic! Panic right through! Ducked through the blocker wall. I've never seen anything like that. Creature now mired in the pack. Slam track takes Panic out to the back of the pack. Panic now works their way through, jumps to the inside, takes another 4 points. Meanwhile, Creature said, I've had enough, calls off the jam. Scores a few points of their own.
8-8 jam tie now 154-41 with 24-10 to go in the game.
It's an Ella on wheels up against Honey Cruller. Both jammers absolutely ground to a halt by the respective walls of the opposing teams. Trish Trash, no. That was Jerry Can that came in, got Honey Cruller through. Nice move by Jerry Can. Meanwhile, Ella on wheels still mired in the pack. Honey Cruller up the back of the pack, tries for the inside. She Be Dangerous says no, not happening. Meanwhile, we have a star pass. Thank you to Influence Board Shop for the star pass.
Don't forget to get your 50-50 raffle tickets. Drawing will be during the halftime of the next game.
Chuck up the inside, cannot quite take it for Envy. Meanwhile, Misery Lizness working up against Terminator. Terminator with the heavy-duty block. With the help from Wife of Wrath, but Lizness is through. Liz takes lead jammer. Meanwhile, Chuck trying around the inside, desperately trying to get rid of that star, but Liz up the outside takes the 4 points. Chuck off to the penalty box. Power jam for Denver. Frenzy and Wow keep Liz at bay, but Liz says no way, up the inside. Takes the 4 points.
The Wife of Wrath picking up a penalty. Thins down the EOD pack.
Liz says go to the blockers. Dancing up the inside, knocked out, goes back around the blocker that knocked them out. Terminator not getting no quarter along with Frenzy. But Liz is through, takes another 4 points. In the meantime, no pack situation called, and it is Chuck stuck. And as I say that, Chuck breaks free. Liz, meanwhile, up against Wife of Wrath. Chuck around the outside, gets knocked out. Chuck now right in the middle of a Denver wall. Chuck scores another 4 points for the Eves before the jam is over.
But that 16-point jam for Denver, their largest of the game, takes them to 57. Eves of Destruction Envy 162. Just over 20 minutes to go in our game.
We have Goose skating for the Eves. And we have Smack Overflow up against the eaves wall, just pushing. Meanwhile, Goose trying back and forth, zipping in and out. Gets to the inside, innocent race for lead, and it is Goose that gets lead jammer. Smack still stuck in the pack. Smack Overflow not coming in the pack where Goose takes 4 points. Another quiet stalled pack as Goose enters. Just absolutely stuck in that Denver wall. Tries the inside. Tries back to the outside. Knocks down a Denver blocker. Meanwhile, Smack is down. It is a wild jam, as Denver's not letting the Goose loose whatsoever. Goose now breaks free, but they're tired. Said enough of this, calling this one off. But not for taking before taking the 4 points, of course.
Parkway Physio, reduce pain, improve mobility, and get back to what you love.
Birdie up against, is that Panic? Edie Bird up the inside, Panic on the outside, Panic takes the lead. Says, I'm checking out of this one. Birdie says, hold, not so fast, I'm coming after you. Wicked jump by Panic, calls off the jam, takes the 4 points before Birdie can score a single one. 4-0 jam. We have Creature jamming for Denver, trying to work the outside, gets knocked in the back of the pack. Meanwhile, we have Honey Cruller for the eaves, taking the lead away from She Be Dangerous. Creature, meanwhile, dancing back and forth, not knowing where to go. Honey up the outside. Honey now to the inside, working the Denver 2-wall. She Be Dangerous and keeper of the skate, not letting them by. In the meantime, Creature is through finally. Honey says enough of this. I'm calling this one off.
Four more up for Envy, takes them to 178. Standbys at 60, 16 minutes to go in the game. We'd like to give another shout out to Empire Donuts. A whole lot of love. All donuts made by hand from scratch with quality ingredients and sold tonight also by hand.
Charlie Hurst on the jammer line for EOD Envy. Meyer in the back of the pack. In the meantime, it is Elle on Wheels working the front wall. Violent Criminal and Frenzy not letting them go, but Elle says, nope, taking lead. Sorry, I'm out of here. Meanwhile, Chuck is being plugged up by Jetset. Jetset tries for the late block, but Chuck gets through. Chuck slams into the back of the Denver wall. In the meantime, Elle on Wheels pushing to the front. Takes their points. Chuck dances around the outside and...
Forearm penalty called on Charlie Horsepower. Power jam, standbys.
Hell on Wheels makes their way around. The pack steadies themselves for the Denver Power Jam. Trish Trash dancing in and out, trying to bust up that wall. And on Wheels tries another one. There's a strong Eve's wall at the front. Pack stretches out, bridging. Trish is bridging the pack, whereas Violent Criminal is helping both Frenzy and Terminator keep the Jammer at bay, but, oh, cutting the track for L on Wheels. Now got an Eve's Power Jam going with Chuck just doing laps. And whistles blown before Chuck can score any points on that pass. Or did they? No.
None more for Chuck, but 3 came in prior to the penalty. So that'll take standbys to 75, Envy 182 with 13 and a half to go. And a team timeout called by the Eves.
We got Panic on the Jammer line, and we have L on Wheels for Denver starting in the penalty box. So we start with a Power Jam for Envy. Panic at the outside. Oh no! Does not stay inbounds. Wraps around, comes through the pack again. Now working up against the front wall. Jumps up the inside, clears him. Takes the lead. Panic now working the front wall. L on Wheels hits the Eves wall at the end. Panic around the outside, gets knocked out, comes back through. She be dangerous now. Keeper of the skate all over Panic. Panic from the outside and is through. Meanwhile, there is no getting through for L on Wheels. That 3-wall of Tombstone, Frenzy, just not giving any weight to the L on Wheels. Just tries to make that scoring pass, does not make it through. No points.
Thank you to Roller Girl for sponsoring the Capital City Chaos Tournament MVP prize. Another reminder, you can vote for the tournament MVP using the QR codes posted throughout the arena. Delay of game penalty being assessed to Envy as they did not have a jammer on the track as time ran out. At least I think that's what's happening. Or maybe someone called a timeout in time.
And it is Goose versus Liz. And the Jammers leaning on each other as Liz tries through the front. Goose works around the back. Chuck tries to stop Liz. Liz is through though for the lead jam. And we have a star pass to the Frenzy, courtesy of Hotel Z. Liz is through for their first scoring pass, takes that 4 points. Frenzy up the back, walks around the outside. Comes up to the inside, back and forth, and is through. Oh, a late block. Spins the Frenzy around, but manages to hold it together and keeps going. Meanwhile, Liz takes another 4 points. Frenzy's knocked into the back of the pack where Liz demurely skates through, takes another 4 points. Thank you very much. Liz around the outside and right into the wall. Big push on the front wall. Eve's not giving them any. Meanwhile, the Frenzy's up the inside. Takes those 4 points. Thank you very much. I'll take that. Liz says, I like that, I'll do that too. 4 points for Denver. Frenzy takes down her own blocker in an attempt to get through. Doesn't quite work for them. Liz around the outside, calls off the jam.
Low block penalty called at the very end of the jam on Jerry Can. Don't forget to drop into the Influence Board Shop for Victoria's best selection of skateboards and gears. You can also visit them here right now. Yes.
And it is Honey Cooler taking the lead. Birdie hot in the tail. Honey Cooler comes screaming into the pack, slows down, thoughtfully approaches it. Birdie says, I'll do the same. Honey says, no, I'm gonna call this one off.
Freight train score. 202. 202.
Panic versus Creature up on the jammer line. Panic back and forth around the back of the pack. Creature up the middle, tries directly into the wall. Chaos and Shango not letting Creature through, but Creature says, no, I'm around, I'm through, I'm gone, and I have lead. Panic in the meantime, back and forth, gets through as well. Creature spins around to the inside, gets knocked out, comes in around back behind Terminator. Meanwhile, Panic tries to the inside. Jet Set says, no, thank you, not gonna happen here. Meanwhile, Creature tries that same inside. Terminator still all over them. Chaos tries knocking him to the inside, but a quick hop and Creature is through. Meanwhile, Panic, back and forth, in and out, around, but no, gets denied. A slam from Slam Track for Panic. Keeps them to the back of the pack. Beholder taking Panic all the way back behind. Meanwhile, Creatures just said, oh, another 4 points. Thank you. I'll take that. Let me take another 4 points here. Not before Terminator has something to say about it.
$12 points for Creature, takes the standbys to 107. Now a 100-point gap. Envy with 207, 6:30 to go in our game. Proudly Canadian, Cloverdale Paint delivers high-performance paints, coatings, and color systems. Thank you, Cloverdale Paint.
And Chuck tries around the inside, gets knocked to the inside of the track, has to go to the back of the pack, and it is lead for 404 Smack Overflow. Chuck just being knocked around. Not much luck for Chuck in the pack. And here comes Smack. A Terminator back on track. Chuck is through, but not lead.
Official timeout called by the officials. Officially another reminder to get your 50-50 raffle tickets, because you've got like 5 minutes of this game and then the break till the next game and then the first half of the next game before the drawing. So you have limited time is what I'm saying.
And it's L on Wheels up against Honeycrawler. L takes the outside. Up against Shango and Violent Criminal, but is through for Lee Jammer. Meanwhile, Honeycrawler not getting through that Denver wall at all. Lank, the tank, is helping, but L on Wheels is through for their scoring pass, takes 4 points. L on Wheels is back again, and it is Frenzy who's got the star pass, courtesy of Empire Donuts. Both sets of blockers for both teams, holding both jammers firm. L on Wheels with a little bit more success up at the front, breaks through, takes the 4 points. Meanwhile, Frenzy at the back, working the inside, gets through as well. That is their initial pass. Frenzy almost made that work, but skated outside, has to come all the way back. Slam Track takes them all the way to the back of the pack. Slam Track and Beholder not giving the Frenzy any room to work. L on Wheels, in the meantime, is stuck behind Tank and a load of other NV blockers. Frenzy is through, takes their 4 points. L on Wheels, in the meantime, is just mired deep. That is not an NV wall, it is an NV pit. No getting out of that one. Frenzy, in the meantime, just decides to work on the back of the pack a little. And we will call this jam over.
$12-8 jam for standbys. They are now at 121, NV 215. 3 minutes to go in our game.
Goose up against Misery, listeners. And left to the box is Goose.
High block called on Goose. And
Liz pushing through the chaos.
Tombstone also picking up the high block. It's the penalty of the jam.
Power jam for Denver. Liz calls their blockers into action. It's a fast skate around trying to keep Liz at bay. Trish Trash not giving any room. Tank with the hit. Now Tank with the bridge. Liz is through. Got their 4 points. The Goose is back. Once again, both jammers just mired into the dog pile. Liz absolutely mired in the back. Chaos takes them all the way around back at turn 3. Meanwhile, Goose managed to find a way to get past the Denver wall. Doesn't score any points.
Three for Misery Lizness on that second scoring pass. That'll take standbys to 128. NV 215. And we're down to the last minute of play of the next to last game of the day.
And it is Panic up against Yeety Bird. Panic quickly tries the inside, but ends up dropping the skate. Now, Jet Set pushing them to the back of the pack. Yeety, in the meanwhile, up against the Eve's front wall. Three blockers at the front from the Eves, not giving him any bet. Panic is stuck back around back. Nobody's getting through on this one. Jet Set says no way. Slam track same, but no, Panic makes it through. Panic gets the lead. And Yeety, right on their tail, somehow manages to get out at the same time. Panic calls this one off. And that is it, folks. Unofficial.
Our unofficial final score, Eves of Destruction, NV 217. Denver standbys 128. Come out to the tape to get your free high five. And a swoopy whistle makes it officially final. Your Eves of Destruction Envy victorious tonight. And after they're done wooing, they will take a lap. All right, let's stick your hands out, give a high five to your winners, the Eves of Destruction Envy. And keep your hands out for Denver Roller Derby standbys.
Skaters, please join us in front of the scoreboard for a photo and clear the track. MVPs will be awarded from the area in front of the scoreboard. All right. I have your MVP prizes for you. I am to the left of the scoreboard. Standbys. MVP blocker. Number 1-1, Shibi. Standbys MVP jammer, 7 Creature. Here I am. EOD Envy, MVP blocker, Chaos. I'm right here, honey. EOD Envy, MVP jammer, Paddock.
Victoria moves in so many ways. The Pacific pulls us in.